If you're a midlife woman, here is a powerful mindset shift that will change your life. Accept yourself and your life exactly as they are right now. Not when you have $1 million in the bank, not when you lose the weight, not when you change partners or change jobs. This is why it's so powerful. When you accept things exactly as they are, you start to change. Rather than resisting what you don't like so that it persists and complaining about everything, you start to take action, you find solutions, opportunities show up, and your life transforms at midlife. Want help accepting your life and yourself? Comment Radiance to schedule a free call with me.
I'm Sherry, I'm 81, and I think it's so sad that women have been conditioned to think that once their career is over, no matter how successful they were, once the kids have moved out of the house, that there's no reason to continue to evolve, to move forward, do new things, do the things they always wanted to do. That basically the party's over. Don't buy into it. The party is just starting.
If you're a midlife woman in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, here's one mindset shift that'll change your whole life. Stop seeing yourself as someone who needs help all the time and start seeing yourself as someone who gives help. This shift will take you from survival mode to thriving mode. Now let's reframe the lie that you've been telling yourself. You're not behind and you are prepared. Now let's expose some of your comfort cycles. You keep consuming content instead of creating it. See, you stay in repeated offense student mode instead of getting in professor mode. I spent years learning from people who had way less experience than I did. See, I kept thinking I needed more training, but what I really needed was more confidence just to show up and be myself. You already know enough to help somebody. The person you were 5 years ago needs the wisdom you have today. Are you sitting there waiting to be qualified? People out here struggling, needing what you have. For all that being said, get out here, share your story, get out here, share your wisdom and knowledge, and stop allowing the enemy to impart fear in you because he's robbing you of your.
Have you ever noticed the women who seem the calmest aren't always the luckiest? They're usually the ones who change the way they think.
One of the most liberating things you can do for yourself as a woman is be okay with changing your mind. You need to be okay with looking yourself in the mirror and saying, look, I thought this was a good decision. It's not anymore. I thought this was a good person for me. They're not anymore. You got married and you don't like it. Change your mind. I don't care if it's been one day. I don't care if it's been 10 years. Thought you wanted a bunch of kids. You had one. Maybe you don't like it that much. Change your mind. This will save you from so much pain. You will have some bullshit. Okay, that's how life goes. There's no avoiding that. But you don't have to prolong the bullshit. You do not have to stay in situations that you don't like anymore just because you made that decision once. Change your mind and don't feel shame about it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't worry about what other people are going to think about it. You can decide to forgive somebody for something and then wake up one day and be like, you know what? I changed my mind. Exercise your free will. This is your life. You're okay to think whatever you want. You're okay to do whatever you want. Do not stay stuck in situations just because you're holding yourself to this impossible standard of never being able to change your mind. I can't stress this enough. It might be uncomfortable at first. Exercise your ability to change your freaking mind. It's okay.
At the age of 54, I can tell you one thing for certain. Your mindset is the reason you keep getting in your own way. Your mindset is either your prison or your power. It's a choice. Every excuse you make is just you arguing for a life that you don't even want. You would never tolerate someone else treating you this way, breaking promises to you constantly. So why do you do this to yourself? It's not that you're behind in life. You're just moving like someone who doesn't believe in their own goals. You're not stuck. You just keep repeating the same day over and over and over and calling it a life. I mean, you say you're tired of your life, but you do nothing to change it. So are you really tired or are you just addicted to complaining? A locked door is not what's stopping you if the key has been in your pocket the entire time. You cannot change your life if you keep making decisions from the mindset that created your current one. And before you tell me, but I can't because, just know, you'll never become the person that you want to be while still defending the one that you are. Hope that helps.
Okay, y'all, so today I had a conversation with myself. Not with my friends, not with my family, not with my man. A conversation with myself. And if I'm being honest, it was overdue. Because I'm 31 years old. And I got to a point where I had to sit down and ask myself a couple of questions that a lot of people avoid. Is the life I'm living actually creating the life I want? And that question hit me hard because a lot of us are moving like rapidly every day in our lives. Like we're busy, we're working, we're posting, we're dating, we're spending money, we're making plans, we're surviving, but we're not really taking the time out our day to actually think. We're moving so much that we never stop to ask ourselves, are we moving in the right direction? And that's really dangerous because life usually doesn't fall apart overnight. It falls apart quietly. One decision at a time, ignoring one red flag at a time, 1 year at a time, until one day, you wake up, you're 40, 45, or even 50 or older, and you're staring at a life that doesn't look like anything you imagined. And now you're trying to fix in 5 years what should have been fixed 20 years ago. That's what scares me. Not getting old, but waking up one day realizing I spent my life being busy instead of being intentional. Because there's a difference. Busy people fill their calendar and intentional people build their future. And today I had to ask myself some uncomfortable questions. Does the way I spend my money align with the life I say I want? Do the people around me, align with the woman that I'm becoming? Do my habits align with my goals? Does my relationship align with my future? Does my daily routine align with the future I keep talking about? Because if the answer is no, then what exactly am I doing? See, a lot of people think growth happens when you learn something new. But I disagree. I think growth happens when you finally become honest with yourself. And I mean brutally honest. The honest that really hurts. The kind of honest that doesn't allow excuses. Kind of honest that forces accountability. Kind of honest that says, maybe my life hasn't changed because I haven't changed. And that's a conversation that most people don't want to have. Because it's easier to blame time, man. It's easier to blame other people. Easier to blame your circumstances. It's easy to, blame your past. But eventually there comes a moment when you have to look in the mirror and ask yourself questions. Am I helping my future or am I delaying it? So that's what I did today. I sat with myself. No distractions, no noise, no outside opinions, just me. And for the first time in a long time, I was able to get more clear. Clear on my vision, clear on my purpose, clear about who I am, clear about what I want, clear about what no longer fits my life, clear about what I've been tolerating, clear about what I've been avoiding. Simply being clear about what simply has to change. Because the truth is, the life you want requires a version of you that doesn't exist yet. Which means if you keep thinking the same, moving the same, spending the same, just doing the same thing, nothing is ever going to change. So it's like you don't accidentally arrive at your dream life. You only get the chance to become the person capable of creating that. And that's why this message found you today. Maybe life is simply asking you to pause long enough to be honest with yourself. One day you're going to look up and wish you would have had the same conversation I'm telling you to have with yourself today. So have those conversations with yourself. Ask yourself those questions.
And according to countless older women, that's the lesson they wish they'd learned much earlier. When we're young, it's easy to believe that life changes when the right person shows up, or when the perfect job appears, or when everything finally falls into place. But life has a funny sense of humor. It usually asks you to become the person first, before it hands you the opportunity. That's a little rude, but apparently, that's how it works. Many older women say the biggest turning point wasn't earning more money, it wasn't getting married, and it wasn't finally buying the dream house.
If I could tell you one thing today that would start to change your life, I would say to practice gratitude. Because when you begin to practice gratitude daily, you become present. You stay focused on the here and the now, and you have no time to worry about what's going to happen in the future, and you have no time to feel regret, sorrow, anger, fear, or whatever for anything that's happened in the past. It brings you to the present moment. And when you can express the things that you are grateful for, right? You attract more things to be grateful for, and you attract experiences, new people, new opportunities just flow your way because you are changing the vibration. You're changing the way that you show up in the world. And it's powerful. Start your gratitude practice. Start your gratitude practice.
Lessons at 50, and yeah, it took me this fucking long. Every time you say yes when your body is screaming no, every time you stay quiet to keep the peace, every time you shrink so others feel comfortable, you're not being nice, you're slowly disappearing, piece by piece, bit by bit. Midlife taught me that's not kindness, it's self-fucking abandonment. Confidence isn't built by doing more, it's built by cutting off what's draining you and killing you. I'm done auditioning for spaces I've already outgrown. How about you, ladies? If you agree with this, give me a follow. I'd love to be friends.
Your life doesn't start declining after 50. It starts beginning. Everyone says that the best years are behind you once you turn 50, that you should settle, that you should dress your age, except being smaller. But what I did, instead, I built my life on the 3 pillars that I think are so important. Number 1, style. I started dressing for my energy, not my age. Taking care of my appearance gave me the confidence to show up everywhere else. It's not about vanity, it's about self-respect. Pillar number 2, mindset. The most important in my opinion. I built disciplined systems that work without motivation. I have my non-negotiables I do no matter what every single day. Pillar number 3 is strength. I started lifting really heavy. Building physical strength showed me I was capable of so much more than what I believed. So the results, I lost the 20 pounds of menopause weight that I was trying to lose for the last 10 years. I built muscle at 52 that I did not have at 30. I'm stronger than ever. And I stepped into the most confident version of myself at 52. So tell me, which pillar do you need most? Drop it in the comments and let's talk about it.
Okay, so nobody warned me that getting older would make you super picky about your peace. Like, I genuinely don't have time or the energy for one-sided friendships or people I can't fully trust or connections that feel like heavy, confusing, or draining. I used to over-explain. Raise a hand if you've been there. I used to hold on because I didn't want to seem mean or difficult. But now I care way less about appearances and way more how I feel after I interact with you. And honestly, history doesn't impress me anymore. Consistency does, respect does, and effort does. I want relationships that feel grounded in authenticity, presence, and mutual elevation. If you've been feeling this shift too, you're not alone. It's called growth. I'm not here to prove myself anymore. I'm here to protect my spirit.
Babe, nobody cares. Work harder. No, seriously. This is the cold world that we live in. And the fact that you want to give yourself excuses, because at the end of the day, unfortunately, that's what it is, just an excuse. Nobody cares. You got to work harder. You got to go to the gym. You have to invest into your mindset. You have to make more money. Don't rely on someone else to get the job done for you. And that's the problem that you're having. It's like you want a successful man, you want a rich man, you want a man that's going to take care of you. Why? Why do you want a man that can take care of you when you can build yourself to take care of yourself and build a skill set to be successful? And then maybe you're going to attract a man that matches that same hustle that you have, that you bring to the table, and then you guys can create something great. But expecting someone else to be better than you and then rely on that person is actually insane. Don't rely on that person, because when that person is not there, where are you going to be at? Struggling? Lock in, get to your money, learn a new skill set, figure out how you're going to get to this money, and get to it, because nobody's going to come and save you. And you can use any excuse you want, but nobody's going to come and save you. You got this.
It was realizing that their mindset was quietly shaping every decision they made. Think about it. If you believe you're not good enough, you'll talk yourself out of opportunities. If you believe failure means you're finished, You'll stop trying.
I'm in the
after one
process of
mistake.
becoming a
But if
completely
you
new
believe
version of
every
myself
setback
right
is
now,
simply
and one of the
tuition for a
biggest
better
things that has
future,
made such a huge
you'll
difference
keep
in my
going.
life as of
And
like
that's where
the
everything
last
begins
couple
to
weeks is
change.
simply asking
One woman
myself
put
every
it
time that I
perfectly.
want or
She
don't want
said,
to do
the day I
something,
stopped
is this
asking,
benefiting my
why
future
is this
self?
happening to me? And started
The answer
asking,
is no, I'm
what
simply
is
not
this
doing it.
teaching
That
me?
goes for literally anything, my fitness goals, relationships, people I talk to, anything at all. Is it benefiting me or is it not? If it's not, it can go. Just now, I didn't want to go to the gym, and I asked myself, is me not going to the gym going to benefit me? No. So driving to the gym right now, it really is that simple. If you can just flip your mind to think about future you instead of what you want currently right now, literally everything will start to change.
The 6-month theory. It's the idea that your life can change in 6 months. You can have a body transformation in 6 months. Financial situation can be so different in 6 months. You can have a whole nother career in 6 months. You can have your dream life in 6 months. People fail to see the results because they lack the motivation to even get started. Getting started is the hardest part. It's always, I'll start tomorrow, and then before you know it, tomorrow is next year. Successes don't happen overnight. You can't expect fast results on a long-term gain. It's not sustainable and you will burn out. The first 3 months, you are going to fail over and over again, but it's very important that you don't quit and you keep it going. Failing is not a sign of weakness, it just means that you are brave enough to try. You can't expect a different life when you are doing the same thing. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Think about why things don't work out in your favor. Every bad thing that you can think of, I probably have experienced, and in those moments, I just remembered being like, why does this keep happening to me? When I look back at it, I'm always so grateful things did not work out because I wouldn't be where I was if those bad things did not happen. Every motivational speaker has gone through a significant amount of trauma, otherwise they would not have a story to tell. Bad things don't have to be negative. They are just simply a redirection in your life. Because you were always meant for something greater. You just have to stick it out for more than 6 months.
One of the psychological shifts that really helped me shift into 6 figures 3 times is learning that money really isn't real. The moment that I started to see money as spirit, and I started to see money spiritually and not as a paper or currency or dollars or, Canadian dollars or yen or naira. The moment I started to see money as energy, as just this non-existent thing, I actually started to see it come into my hands even more. Many people don't understand that money is very spiritual. When I was working for money, that's when I actually didn't have it. The moment I understood how money works and how it operates and that there are elements and economics behind money, I started to actually attract it more and it started to come to me very easily. But if you're working for an entity, that's why it's not coming to you. This is why in the Bible it says you can either serve God or mammon, meaning that the standpoint behind money is that it wants you to become a servant to it. This is why you have to see money as a spirit. You have to see it as a person. You cannot just see it as paper, currency, or a bank account, or crypto, or stocks. You have to see it as an actual entity, spiritual entity. And the moment I made that psychological shift, that is not just paper, it's not just real, but it's actually spiritual, that's when I actually started making massive amounts, lump sums amount of money. We're talking 6-figure contracts, deals, because I actually stopped working for an entity and I started allowing that entity to work for me.
My entire life changed. That's powerful, because the question you ask yourself often determines the answer you'll live. Older women also remind us that confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build.
Sometimes in
probably not going to want to hear this because it's a tough pill to swallow, but if you want to completely change your life and become unrecognizable in 1 year, this is the one thing you need to stop doing. You need to stop breaking your promises to yourself. It's kind of funny because we hate being let down by other people when they're flaky, when they say they're going to do something and they don't. But why is it that we don't even think twice when we let ourselves down? And have people gotten so comfortable saying no to others and breaking their promises to others because we've all become so comfortable breaking promises to ourselves? Like when you say you're going to do something, it can be as small as going to bed at the same time, going to the gym 3 times a week, washing your face every morning, and then you don't. You brush it off like it doesn't matter, but it does. Each time you say you're going to do something and then you don't, the only thing you come to trust about yourself is that you don't follow through. And that's why you end up feeling stuck or incapable or like you never achieve anything, but you're not keeping your promises to yourself. Whatever it is, the walk you said you're going to go on every day, the book you said you're finally going to read, going to bed or waking up earlier, you can start small, but just actually do it. Because every time you keep a promise to yourself, even something that small, your brain starts to understand that you are capable of doing things no matter how big or how small or how hard or easy they may seem. Because then you start to feel like you can rely on yourself again and you start trusting your own decision. Because the one thing that you can trust is that when you say you're going to do something, you actually will. I'm not saying you need to change your whole life overnight. Just start keeping your promises to yourself every day for the next 30 days and then come back and tell me how much your life improves.
Then one day they realized those strangers were too busy worrying about themselves. Talk about wasted energy. So wear the outfit, apply for the opportunity, start the business, learn the new skill. Your future doesn't need your perfection. It needs your participation. The women looking back on life rarely say, I wish I'd worried more. Instead, they say, I wish I'd believed in myself sooner.